back at it again. We're back at it. Another year, another season. Football's back. And so, welcome to the Rolly podcast. NFL's finally back. I'm a couple weeks late. I know. I've been trying to get a couple things set up. So let's get right into it. So there've been a lot of things that have been happening, over these last couple of weeks since football really started back up, leading up to the season and everything like that. I didn't really cover the off season like that. Nevertheless, the NFL season kicked off and the college football season kicked off. I believe college football we're in week 4. NFL season we're about to enter week 3. All right. Before I get into the video, make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Support is duly appreciated. College football. So, unless you've been living under a rock, if you've been following college football or sports in general, you heard about Colorado Buffaloes and their new football coach, Deion Sanders, Coach Prime. It's been a lot of controversy, not really controversy, but I would say a lot of other coaches hating on him because he's doing things his way, bringing in I believe 81 new players into the program. He's new. Also, he brought his sons Shador and Shiloh. So it's been a lot of moving parts, a lot of changing parts. I don't really know what's going on with the with college football in general, with all these new conferences and the shifts and all of that. They're eliminating the Pac-12, which makes no sense, even though the Pac-12 looks about the second best conference right now compared to the SEC. But hey, that's not for me to judge. Like I said, Deion Sanders and his son, QB Shador Sanders, along with Travis Hunter, the two-way all-star player. He plays cornerback, and then he also played wide receiver on offense. And then Shiloh is his another son, who plays safety. But the Buffaloes are off to a 3-0 start. They just came off of an interstate rivalry battle between Colorado State. Things got heated. It was a very exciting game, not gonna lie. Also, being honest, I didn't really stay up until 2 o'clock to watch the game. I went to sleep early, I'm not gonna lie. But I quit the highlights in the morning. It was a very exciting game. Shador Sanders has been proven that he's NFL ready. There's been a lot of hate speculation on at Jackson State, so he wasn't really, his level of competition wasn't NFL level, and now he's coming to the quote-unquote Power 5, and he's dominating just like he was doing at Jackson State, so that's good to see. And he's making a name for himself. He's been outstanding. Right now, he's projected to be around a top 10 pick if he comes out this year. So shout out to Colorado, being Colorado State. I can't talk about college football without my Alabama Crimson Tide. Oh my God, what is going on with us? What is going on with us? Oh, I don't know if it's the QB, the O-line, or the defense, but I'm giving Nick Saban the benefit of the doubt. I believe in Nick Saban. So another team that is very surprising to me. This college football season has been very, very surprising. Alabama not being the powerhouse it's supposed to be, with the QB problem last week. I don't know what Nick Saban was doing. I don't know what's going on in Alabama. I'm very, very, I want to say worried, but I'm keeping an eye on it. I don't know what's going on. Another surprising team, Penn State. Penn State has decided to finally get a quarterback. And, oh Lord, about time, Penn State. About time. Why I'm saying about time is because y'all finally, that's all y'all needed. Y'all could have been a powerhouse team. Y'all could have been competing with, all y'all really got to compete with is Michigan and Ohio State. And y'all was missing a QB. So now, Penn State, the fact that y'all have a QB makes everything a lot simpler. And now I could actually see y'all competing and not getting blown out by Michigan State. I mean, not Michigan State, but Michigan. Michigan and Ohio State is your only competition. So now that y'all have a QB, you guys are better position to be in those teams and actually making the college football playoff. Currently ranked, I believe, number 7 right now in the AP power ranking. So that's good. Like this college football season has been full of surprises. Florida State. Who would expect Florida State, the season they had last year, to come out opening game against LSU and kick their teeth in like that? Oh my God. Florida State has been a very, very good surprise. Some people are saying Florida State is back. I will wait to see and see how they finish and probably see if they make the college football playoff. I'm a reserve judgment on them for the time being, but they look very impressive against LSU. I'm not gonna lie. I watched that game from start to finish, and they dominated LSU, and they made Jalen Daniels look terrible out there. You're just gonna keep hearing me say it. College football season has been a surprise. Notre Dame, Notre Dame, Notre Dame finally has a quarterback, and it's making their life a whole lot simpler. They're looking like a pop. They're looking like the old Fighting Irish of the 2000. You feel me? Of the 90s. You feel me? Like had some pride and wasn't just considered okay. You see them on your schedule. If that's an easy W. Like they're looking very good, and having a quarterback is putting them in a great position. And I also like this. I believe the head coach is in his second or third year. So I'm very excited, and I'm very happy to see what he's doing over there. And I'm supporting him, and I'm rooting for him. Oregon State, Oregon State, Oregon State. The redemption of DJ. Why is it the redemption of DJ? If you've been following college football for like the past, I want to say 2-3 years, you heard of Clemson quarterback DJ U. I don't know how to say his last name, so I'm not going to butcher his last name. But he was playing at Clemson following quarterbacks as Deshaun Watson, Trevor Lawrence, and he was supposed to be the next great quarterback. He gets the starting job, and he didn't look good at Clemson. In fact, he looked very terrible. He was a 5-star recruit coming out of high school, and he just looked terrible. I'm not gonna lie. I personally wasn't a fan of him at Clemson. So when I heard he was going to Oregon State, I was like, okay. My cousin goes to Oregon State, and he's on the defense. Joseph Swin, shout out to Joe Swin. He told me when the news broke that DJ was going to Oregon State. Not when the news broke, but like in training camp, he said, hey, bro, he's actually good. Just give him a chance. Just give him a chance. Clemson wasn't using him right. And lo and behold, Oregon State is putting him to use and is doing wonders and making DJ actually looks like a NFL quarterback. Georgia just looked dominant. There's nothing really to say about it. They had a slow start against South Carolina. Ended up winning the game, I believe, scoring 14 straight points or 24 straight points, anywhere from that. I'm not really surprised with Georgia. Like I said, I'm waiting to see what they do. Just like Florida State, I'm waiting to see what they do when they make the playoffs, to be honest. Talk about college football while talking about Caleb Williams, the projected number 1 overall pick in this year's NFL draft. He has been dominating college football as usual. Heisman, he looks like the Heisman pick again this year. If they will give it to him, who knows? But speaking of the Heisman, my top 3 Heisman pick would be Caleb Williams, Shedeur Sanders, and Michael Penix Jr. right now. Those are the 3. Week 4 of college football. I'll make some picks. Got Oregon State versus Washington State. I like Oregon State. They favor by 3, so I'll take them. Florida State versus Clemson. That's going to be a good game. That's going to be a really good game. We want to see if Florida State is for real. Michigan at Rutgers. Michigan easy. They're expected to I'm expecting them to bounce back. I believe they get Coach Harbaugh back this game, if not next game. So we'll see. Um, Michigan, the quarterback kind of looked terrible last week, throwing three touchdowns. I mean, three interceptions, not three touchdowns. Three interceptions, two touchdowns. And he didn't really look that impressive. To say the least. Colorado versus Oregon. This is the game of the week. Deion Sanders is Colorado is the underdog in this game. Underdogs, the point spread right now is 21. Um, I like Colorado to cover, and I also like them to win. If that's me, that game is going to be very interesting. Shedeur Sanders, um, we're going to see how he plays. Um, he still has weapons on the offensive side, but it's not a secret that their run game is suspect. They need to figure out a run game and at least give them some run game to ease off the pressure off that. Bo Nix he's not really impressive to me. He's really like fourth round draft pick to me at best. So we'll see. But I'm gonna take Colorado because I like Shedeur. I'm taking Shedeur. I don't have my watch on, but I'm taking Shedeur. You feel me? Ole Miss at Alabama. This is gonna be. We're gonna see. It's gonna be a very interesting game. I'm gonna take Ole Miss to say the least. I'm just gonna take Ole Miss. Iowa Penn State. That's another good game. We'll see if Penn State is for real. Iowa is a really good team this year. They have, I believe, the transfer from Michigan, playing quarterback and at least giving them life on the offensive side of the ball. So we'll see how they do. Penn State. We'll see if Penn State is for real. Like I said, Penn State only competition is Michigan and Ohio State. So we'll see. The NFL. Let's recap week 2. It was 2 Monday night games. It was the Steelers versus the Browns. The Steelers won 26-22. Kenny Pickett threw for 222 yards, a touchdown, and an interception. Deshaun Watson threw for 235, a touchdown, and an interception. I believe he had a fumble too. So a fumble loss that really cost them the game. Nick Chubb went out with a real scary injury. The Browns is really, I expected more from the Browns. I'm gonna be honest. They're not really looking too good. I believe in Deshaun. A lot of people are writing him off right now, but I believe in Deshaun. The Steelers, just I would say, is like the defense is carrying them. Kenny Pickett is like, I don't know if it's the offense, if it's the coordinator or Kenny Pickett, or I don't know. It's too much. You have too many weapons to not be, running smoothly like that. So whatever the problem is, Pittsburgh got to fix it. They won nevertheless. Cleveland, they're both 1-1. The Saints versus the Panthers, another Monday night game. This one was their early kickoff on Monday night. The Saints beat the Panthers. The Panthers was at home. Bryce Young, he's really. I don't know what it is. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I honestly don't know what it is with the Panthers. The defense was okay. The defense was solid, if I would say, but they was playing against Derek Carr, so you never know. You feel me? How good? Because Derek Carr didn't look that impressive, and he's not that impressive to begin with. So, all right, Derek Carr did throw for 228, a touchdown. No touchdown, interception. Bryce Young threw for 153, a touchdown. So Bryce Young did look. I mean, he had his moments. I mean, he having his moments, but we'll see. Panthers, they need to figure it out. The Saints, I don't believe in Derek Carr. I would go with Jameis Winston. So it's only a matter of time. The Sunday night game was the Dolphins versus the Patriots. The Dolphins beat the Patriots 24-17. Tua had threw for 249, a touchdown and an interception. Mac Jones threw for 231, a touchdown and an interception. So fairly similar quarterback play. Raheem Mostert ran for 121 and 2 touchdowns. Um, Ramondre Stevenson 50 rushing yards and a touchdown. That game, the Dolphins really just ran the ball on them, on the Patriots, which was really unexpected. Um, that's all I can say, at least. The Dolphins looked dominant. You could say Tua is for real. If I would say he's early MVP favorite. Broncos versus the Commanders. This game really was a tale of two halves. To say the least. Sean Payton and Russell Wilson have a lot of work to do. They're not looking very impressive. I mean, they're not looking good at all. They're 0-2. The defense that was stout last year is having problems this year. The offense looked better, but so you sacrificed the defense for the offense. Now you're 0-2. You was up 21-0 in the game and you end up losing. That's really embarrassing. Good thing you was at home, so that's even more embarrassing. So a lot of good things happening in the state of Colorado. The Broncos is not one of them. So sad to say. Sam Howell been looking impressive. Let me not skip over that. Just talking about Russell Wilson. Sam Howell threw for 229, 2 touchdowns. He been looking very impressive. To say the least. Every enemy is doing wonders over there in Washington. So you gotta give him a shout out, and you can see he deserves a head coaching job. So Cowboys Jets. What can I say? It went as expected. Cowboys dominated on defense. The Jets defense, some would say they're good, but no, some would say they're elite, but others was question, are they really good? But we'll see. They do have a lot of playmakers. I like a couple pieces they have on the defensive side. Sauce Gardner, and then also Quentin Williams, and then his brother also had a linebacker. So you got to give him a shout out. But it all comes down to quarterback play, and when are they gonna come to the realization they're gonna need to bring in a quarterback? So we'll see, to say the least. Zach Wilson played as expected. He threw a touchdown, 3 interceptions, as expected. Dak Prescott, he's playing back. I'll say back to normal. Last year was an anomaly. You don't really throw interceptions, so we'll see. I feel as though people has just been over hyping his interception, like he's a turnover prone person. I don't really see that, but people just keep saying that. But he did have he's looking good to start off the season. Two touchdowns, 255 yards passing. So that's very impressive. Then we have the Giants and the Cardinals. I'm not really going to spend too much time on this. To say the least, I'm not very impressed with the Giants to start off. Yes, they won, but to be down in 21-0, I'm very disgusted. But a win is a win. Get back to the drawing board, and we have San Francisco this week, so tough luck. Just don't do what you did opening night, please. Thank you. 49ers versus Rams. Brock Purdy didn't really look that impressive. Matt Stafford played as expected. What can I say? 49ers defense is dominant. The run game of the 49ers is impressive. It's very dominant. Christian McCaffrey had 116 rushing, a touchdown. So that's very good. Yeah. The Rams they're not really that good to start off with, but Chargers at the Titans. Oh jeez, oh jeez, oh jeez. What happened to the Chargers? Like Justin Herbert is just a Madden quarterback. Get all these stats, throw for 300 yards, 2 touchdowns, and just lose the game. Like he's getting paid as an elite quarterback, but he hasn't won a playoff game. He's losing all these games. So what is his issue? What is his deal? So I don't really get it. The Titans are the Titans. Derrick Henry had 80 yards rushing and a touchdown. Yeah, very impressive for the Titans. They're 1-1. They've been in both games so far, so I'm very impressed. Bills at the Raiders. I'm not really gonna spend too much time on this. Bills at the Raiders. Josh Allen just figure he's not going to turn the ball over this game. Simple as that. And when he don't turn the ball over, he's a top 5 quarterback. So nothing much to say. Packers at Falcons. Um, the Packers lost to the Falcons 24-25. I'm not really nothing much to say. Nothing much to say. The Falcons just need to hand the ball off to him because that's McRitter is not a quarterback. He's not a NFL quarterback. So whatever. Jordan Love, second straight week, 3 touchdowns, thumbs up. 1-1. Chiefs versus the Jaguars. Patrick Mahomes. He been off to I wouldn't say a rough start, but a different start. The offense hasn't been looking as smoothly as it usually have been in the past years. You could credit that to Eric Bieniemy leaving, but yeah, the Chiefs offense has kind of been struggling, but the defense has been stout. The Jaguars, on the other hand, you expect Trevor to take the next step, but he's not really taking the next step and involving with Doug Peterson as you expect. The Chiefs beat the Jaguars 17-19. Patrick Mahomes threw for 305 yards, 2 touchdowns, and an interception. Trevor Lawrence had 215 yards. Like I said, you expect Trevor Lawrence to start taking the next step as an elite quarterback. We're still waiting on that. Bears versus the Bucks. Now, the Bears situation is kind of interesting. Coming into the season, Justin Fields was MVP favorite for some reason. I don't know why, but for some reason, a lot of people had him as an MVP favorite. Um, this season has been a disappointment. He has taken a step back. The the Bucks beat the Bears 27-17. Baker Mayfield has been so far so good. He's 2-0 so far. He looked really impressive. Um, some would say Baker is playing like he did back in his Cleveland days when they made the playoffs. Baker has a chip on his shoulder now. He threw for 317 yards, a touchdown. So I'm very happy for him. Mike Evans had 171 yards receiving and a touchdown. So yeah, the Bears, I don't know what's going on. I don't know why people had them as the preseason favorite to do something, but so far, so this year, it has been a very, very disappointing year for the Bears and the Bears fan. Um, we had the Eagles versus the Vikings Thursday night. The Eagles beat the Vikings 34-28. The Eagles offense has been been struggling very much. Um, Jalen Hurts doesn't look like the passer he was last year. Besides that, their defense has been struggling also. So I want to say I'm concerned about Philly, but they just don't look like how they looked last year. And to be honest, Jalen Hurts is looking like how I knew he looked. I expected him to look. Um, yeah, like I want to say last year wasn't an anomaly, but uh,
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying Jalen Hurts is a terrible quarterback. I'm just saying I don't see you. Last year, people were saying he's the second best quarterback in the league. Uh, this, that, and the third. I mean, compared to last year, yeah, he quote unquote, I guess, was the second best quarterback, but I consider him the highest paid running back in the league right now because all he does is run the ball. But nevertheless, he still hasn't thrown for 200 yards yet this season, playing against the Patriots and Vikings defense. But I am very impressed with DeAndre Swift returning home to Philly. In his first home game, had 175 yards rushing and a touchdown. So I'm very happy for him. Devontae Smith did ball out, 131 receiving and a touchdown. Kirk Cousins has been very impressive so far. If his team wasn't 0-2, he would be the MVP runner up or the MVP favorite so far this season because he has thrown for 364, 4 touchdowns. I believe in week one, he also threw for 300 yards, and they ended up losing that game also. Justin Jefferson has been balling out this whole season. Jordan Addison also. I told y'all keep your eye out for Jordan Addison, whatever team he goes to. That's my rookie of the year favorite. Bengals versus the Ravens. I don't know what's going on in Cincinnati. I don't know if it's the offense, if it's because Joe Burrow is rusty, but now he got a calf strain. I don't really agree with how they dealt with it. His first calf strain in training camp, which caused him to miss the whole training camp. But I just don't see I don't understand their medical process of bringing him back. You knew before going into the season, your first 2 games, you had a chance of starting off the season 0-2, and yet you still played your quarterback who y'all knew was hurt, and now y'all might lose him for the rest of the season. So Cincinnati, I'm very disappointed in y'all. The offense looks stale. Jamar Chase doesn't look involved in the offense, so I don't know if it's the offensive coordinator or if it's something going on in the offense, but something's not clicking. I don't know. It might be Joe Burrow being rusty, but now he's out for who knows how long. So Cincinnati this season, it might just be a wash. Wrap it up. Hope for a top 15 pick so you could grab a wide receiver that's coming out of college. But Lamar Jackson, on the other hand, he didn't look that impressive. He looked better than Joe Burrow, but that's not much to say. That's not much of a comparison. Two threw for 230, 237, 2 touchdowns. Burrow threw for 222, 2 touchdowns and an interception. Um, it was a fairly Ravens Bengals game. Ravens did beat them 27-24. Seahawks versus the Lions. This was a very interesting game. Geno Smith coming off of the loss in week one. The Lions coming off the win in week one. Was most people were saying it's the Lions for real, for real. This was a very interesting game. It went into overtime. The Seahawks did end up being the Lions 37-31. Um, Geno Smith had 328 yards passing, 2 touchdowns. Jared Goff had 323, 3 touchdowns and an interception. I really like both offenses this year. I'm expecting both teams to make the playoffs, so um, I'm expecting big things from both of these teams. The Colts versus the Texans. The Colts beat the Texans 31-20. This was a battle of the rookie quarterbacks for a short while. Anthony Richardson did end up leaving the game with a concussion. He rushed for 2 touchdowns. CJ Stroud has been looking very impressive. Back to back back to back week with 300 yards passing, 2 touchdowns this week. He threw for 384 to be exact, so almost 400 yards passing. So CJ Stroud looked like a legit quarterback in the NFL, and he looks like the Texans is a good fit for him. So I like what they're doing over there at D'Amico Ryan. I like the defense. They gave Baltimore a tough out in week one, so I'm very excited about what they're doing over there in Houston. So shout out to D'Amico Ryan. But like I said, Anthony Richardson did rush for 2 touchdowns, but he left the game with a concussion. Gardner Minshew came in, threw for 171 and a touchdown, ended up winning the game for the Colts. So that's very we'll see how Anthony Richardson is. If he's already second game of the season coming up with a concussion, they have to do a better job of protecting him. He has to do a better job of protecting himself also. All right. Week 3 in the NFL. Let's talk about it. Thursday night game, we have the Giants versus the 49ers. As a Giants fan, I'm scared. Um, I'm just hoping that we don't repeat what we did opening night. What we did opening night and just put up a zero burger and let the other team put up a 40 burger on us. San Francisco has the capability of doing that. The defense is like that, so I'm very scared. San Francisco is favored by a touchdown, so if I'll take San Francisco, to be honest. I'm not really a big fan of the Giants right now. Patriots versus the Jets. This is easy. The Jets haven't beat the Patriots in, I want to say, 5-10 years so far. So Patriots is favored by 2.5 points. That's easy money. I'll take the Patriots. I don't really see Zach Wilson and the Jets offense doing much. I'm expecting the Patriots to get back on track, get their first win of the season, and hopefully end up 1-2 and have a chance of making the playoffs. Because 0-2 and 1-2 is apparently people look at you different when you're 1-2 versus 0-2. Panthers versus Seahawks. With this game, I'm gonna take the Seahawks because the Panthers haven't really been impressive on offense or defense. I like what Seattle has been doing. I trust Geno Smith. I like their run game. I like the receivers. I just don't trust the Panthers. The Seahawks are favored by 6 points. I'm taking the Hawks. Bills versus Washington. I don't know about y'all, but I have been impressed with Sam Howell and Washington offense and their defense. Washington team overall. I don't know if what Josh Allen we're going to get. If we're going to get the turnover prone Josh Allen or we're going to get the superstar Josh Allen. So I'm gonna say this will be a high scoring game, but at the end of the day, I like Washington, but Washington is not it's the underdogs 6.5 points. If you don't want to take Washington money line, you can take them 6.5 points because I believe they will cover that point spread. Broncos versus Miami. Sean Payton has a lot of checks that he wrote with his mouth that he needs to cash. They're 0-2. He was talking stuff about Tua, I believe 2 years ago or the last year. Whatever year Teddy Bridgewater was in Miami, he said Tua wasn't going to finish the season because Teddy was going to outperform him. And lo and behold, Tua is one of the best quarterback in the NFL when he's not injured, when he doesn't have a concussion. Tua is very dangerous. I like Miami offense. Miami doesn't look like anybody can stop them. Miami is favored by 3.5. I personally just don't see how the Broncos are going to stop them. I don't understand how the Broncos had an elite defense, had good players on the defense, and what happened to them. Is it the coaching? Is the focus only on fixing Russell Wilson? Is the focus on fixing the whole team or just Russell Wilson? Or are we sacrificing the defense just to fix our our $1 million quarterback, our $100 million quarterback, however much they paid them? So I don't really understand what's going on over there. So I'm gonna take Miami 3.5. We have the Vikings versus the Chargers. Okay, the Vikings traded for Cam Akers just recently. So I did have the Chargers to win this game or Chargers to cover the point spread. It is 1.5 right now, so that's kind of a tossed up bet. You could play it at your own risk. I had the Chargers, but with the addition of Cam Akers, I don't know if he's going to play this game or not. But if Cam Akers do play, Vikings have a run game, and I feel as though that's what they've been missing. So with that being said, the Vikings could win that game, but
Just like Vegas said, this game could be a toss up. So I had the Chargers. I don't. I think the addition of Cam Akers might help the Vikings turn a season around. So we'll see. Colts versus the Ravens. I'm very excited to see that game. I want to see if Lamar can keep it up. The Colts defense have been very good this year. Lamar didn't look that sharp in Week 1 against the Texans defense. So I want to see if if he's going to keep improving or if he how he's going to look in his offense overall. Week 1 wasn't very impressive. Week 2 was better. So we'll see how Week 3 look. I do like the Colts to cover. It's an 8 point spread. Um, I personally think it will be a closer game than most people expected, based off of what I seen from the Ravens in Week 1 and 2. The Colts have been very competitive, very impressive. I do like Anthony Richardson as their quarterback. I do like their running situation and the whole situation of the team. I like their offense, defense, and everything. So that would be an interesting game. I would take the Colts to cover that game. Falcons versus the Lions. So Falcons versus the Lions. I would say if this is not a high scoring game, it would be a lopsided game for the Lions. Um, it all depends on the Lions' run defense. If they could stop Bijan Robinson, this should not even be a game. If they cannot stop him, then it will be closer than most people expected. I expect Jared Goff to put up big numbers. I expect the offense of the Lions to be humming and look as the best it has been all season. I don't really uh, think the Falcons have a stout defense. I think the Lions have a high power offense. So we'll see. I'm gonna take the Lions to cover the 3.5 points point spread. Um, just simply because I don't believe in Desmond Ritter. I don't think he's an NFL quarterback. Not, not that he's not an NFL quarterback, but he's not ready for the NFL. To be honest, I feel as though the Falcons are playing for a top 5 draft pick, and they should not blow it. And by trying to win all these games, you guys should recognize that Desmond Ritter is not your quarterback of the future. And the quicker y'all realize that, just like Arizona, y'all can um, identify your QB of the future and hopefully get your franchise quarterback. Some people are projecting Shador Sanders to go to Atlanta right now. Imagine Shador in that offense. Oh my God, that would be elite. Saints versus the Packers. This game is going to be interesting. The Saints have a great defense. I don't trust Derek Carr against the Packers defense. So I feel as though Derek Carr is going to give the ball away a lot this game. I know based off what we've seen from Jordan Love, he protects the ball and he scores 3 touchdowns. So if I was to say I'm taking the Packers, I expect Jordan Love to throw for at least 2 to 3 touchdowns. I don't know if they're going to have Aaron Jones back, but if they do, I expect him to rush for a touchdown and get them back on track. So I'm taking the Packers over the Saints. We have the Texans versus the Jags. This is going to be another interesting game. CJ Stroud has been very impressive. The Texans defense have looked very stout, given quarterbacks causing quarterbacks problem. Um, like I said, Trevor Lawrence haven't been that impressive this year. So we'll see. Hopefully the Texans can get their first win of the season, but I'm not gonna take the Texans. I'm taking the Jags to cover the 9.5 point spread. I don't know. I think 9.5 is too high to be honest. So I would take the Jags. I don't know about the points though. I like the Jags though. We have the Titans versus the Browns. Titans versus the Browns. I'm taking the Titans. I haven't been really impressed with the Browns. Uh, some people are saying Deshaun is washed up. Deshaun is not his old self. He will never be his old self. I'll just say give it some time. We'll see. He's not really in the offense that fits him. The offense in Cleveland is more tailored to running the ball than his skill set, which is spreading it out and passing the ball, as we've seen in Houston, as we've seen in Clemson. So until they decide to tailor the offense to him, whether it's the current head coach finally realizing, oh, I have a
superstar quarterback. Let me tailor my offense to him, or when the current coach gets fired. Sad to say, but that's a reality that might happen. Um, the next coach comes in that might, run an offense that fit to show him in a better light and makes him look better. But I'm gonna take the Titans. The Titans are the Titans every year. They run the ball great with Derrick Henry. They have a good defense. So and then they have a mediocre quarterback that just he'll win you some games, he'll lose you some games. So um yeah, so I'm gonna take the Titans to cover. I expect this to be a slugfest. I expect the Titans to try to run the ball, take the air out the ball, win the time of possession game, play great defense, and I expect King Henry to go off. So I'm taking the Titans to cover the 3 point. Bears versus Chiefs. This is the easy one. The Bears haven't been looking that impressive this whole season, so I expect the Chiefs to. This is the Chiefs get back on track game, get right game for the offense. The defense have looked stout. So I'm expecting Patrick Mahomes to put up big numbers against this defense of the Bears. The Bears is going through a lot of turmoil in the franchise right now with their defensive coordinator. So I'm not expecting the Bears to do much this game. So I'm expecting a big game from Patrick Mahomes, expecting a big game from Travis Kelce, and I expect the Chief offense to get back on track and look like how we expected them to look coming into the season. Cowboys, Cardinals. The Cowboys defense have been very dominant this season, and I expect the same thing going into this game. I expect them to dominate the Cardinals offense. I expect this one to be a blowout. The Cowboys are favored by 12, so I'm gonna take that. I think that's Dak is back to his normal self, not the Dak that he was last season. I don't think Dak is a turnover-prone quarterback or anything like that. First couple of seasons, he didn't throw interceptions. That was the basically the selling point on him. He took care of the ball. So I'm not going to let 1 year say or change the narrative on him. So I'm gonna expect a good game from Dak. I would say about 300 yards passing, maybe 2 touchdowns against the Cardinals. My thing is, I expect Dak to get back on track. With Dallas, I don't really like their running game right now. We'll see, but I like what they're doing on defense, and I expect Dak to get back on track. Steelers versus the Raiders. I'm going to take the Steelers. Both of these teams are really a toss up. This game is really a toss up. I'm taking the Steelers simply because I trust their coach and I like their defense. The Raiders is very disappointing. Josh McDaniels, is only a matter of time before he's out of there. Jimmy G have been Jimmy G. The only thing I would say is Devontae Adams. Uh, I'm waiting for you to request a trade out of there because, yeah, I know you're not happy. I know you can't be happy with that. So I'm going to take the Steelers to cover the 3 points. I actually like the Steelers to win that game also. The Eagles versus the Bucks. I'm going to take Tampa Bay to cover the 7 points. I like what Baker had been doing this year. The redemption of Baker. He's not injured. He's healthy. He's playing like a, I want to say elite quarterback, but a top quarterback this year. So I'm very excited for that. I think with the Eagles defense struggling like it has been, I think Baker might light it up. Mike Evans might have a big game. Chris Godwin. I'm expecting a good game on Monday night. I'm trying to think. Jalen Hurts. I expect AJ Brown and Jalen Hurts to get back on the same page. If they do get back on the same page, do I think the Eagles will dominate the Bucks? No. I think it will be a close game. I think the Bucks will cover, and I think the Bucks have a chance of winning. The Rams versus the Bengals to close out the Monday night doubleheader. I'm taking the Rams. The Bengals doesn't. I don't even know who's playing quarterback for the Bengals right now. The Rams. I'm just going to take them. It's a 1 point spread. That's easy money. So jump on that as soon as you can.